Toby is just giving his briefing to the riders, what they might expect in the course of the day. All of the riders here, apart from myself, have not been ridden in Cambodia before, and there's quite a lot of obstacles out on the way and things. Just a general briefing as to how they should get on with it, and just to take things cool on the first day. It's easy to get a bit overexcited on the first day. We've had a couple of stops, one for a Coke. This is sort of another stop and a regroup. Guys are getting the hang of the bikes and the conditions. Quite a lot of sandy trails, so it's easy to get caught out on the corners when it gets a little bit deeper. Also on the longer trails, it's quite dusty. We're quite dry over here in Cambodia at the moment, so you need to leave some space, otherwise you simply can't see the trails. Since lunchtime, we went out onto the really long road alongside a floodplain, and then crossed the floodplain on a raised up levee. So water either side and really raised up things. Really quite nice. Once we got off there, they'd actually been burning the crops, so it's a bit like an apocalyptic landscape driving across with burning crops either way, and actually driving through some crops that actually were still burning. So quite hot, adding to the already hot conditions. Toby seems to be offering me some of what appears to be a rat on a stick, as if I'm going to be taken on by this. There might be a few things in here, but I don't think a rat on a stick is something I'm going to go for, really. I don't want the rat in the first place.
Anyone else for a rat?
Rat.
You like a fetus as well, do you?
Sorry?
You like a fetus as well?
Not so much, no. But I mean, thanks for offering. Okay, so sadly there was some rat left, so we're going to give it a go. I mean, it looks like a really tiny, underfed chicken, so I'm going to go for a bit of thigh meat here. And it's about as nice as you'd imagine rat was going to be honest.
Yeah, hold it up. That's like beef jerky.
We've abandoned the rat, we've gone for spicy crickets. Which look alright, to be honest. I mean, you know, if you're going to eat insects, I suppose. Yeah, they're okay actually. Good.
Too chewy, eh? No more. Up the top you'll see some openings, and they used to kill people at the top.
Today we've got probably a similar amount of time on the trails, getting a little bit harder on day two. Day one tends to be a bit of an introduction to get people used to the bikes and used to the trails. It is quite dry everywhere, so it's going to be a problem with dust, but I'll take dust every time over slippery mud, because a lot of these trails would have been clay. Well, they are clay and would be really slippery in the wet season. Okay, so we've just stopped for lunch on day two. We've done a lot of plains, flat plains, a lot of dust around on that one, and then we turned off that, stopped a little school, all the kids out for lunch there, and then went into a climb, some quite rocky climbs, single track trail, and lots of rocks on the climb. So one particular bit which was tricky, and I think we got some footage of that, and it continued up to the top of the hill, and following single track all the way over the top of the forest up behind us here.
You want to tell us what's happened to our cameraman?
Well, I think you've broken him. You've disappeared into the woods, and he's come out and he's limping. He can't walk. I mean, I can say no more, but obviously the pig wasn't enough for him. Quit. We've been following the dirt track, which is getting progressively smaller, out into the jungle basically. Picked up a long old trail, and you haven't stopped for about sort of 45 minutes of just flat tracking the bikes on these gravel surfaces. So a little bit of areas of sand to catch you out from time to time, but really fantastic riding, really nice and fast. We've separated out a lot, so about 100 metres between us, to enable us to actually see from the dust, because it's abnormally dry in Cambodia at the moment. We're going to go down towards the lake and actually across the lake in a boat, so it should be quite nice. Went over across on the ferry, which was a good short ferry ride with all the bikes stacked up on there, and after that we've got a really nice long trail, sort of a lot of us riding sort of side by side each other, drifting left and right.
Awesome. Yeah, that was pretty good.
11. Tiger Trail was really great to ride. Really small trails, real jungle stuff. Just weaving backwards and forwards. Lots of fallen logs to get over. Lots of like slight detours around to avoid fallen logs. Some down into water up the other side. Some rocky climbs. Real exertion. So I think we probably took about an hour and a half to get through there. A couple of regroups in the middle of it. But yeah, it was great. So what did you think about today?
Awesome.
That's all we need to know. This is just an absolutely beautiful place. It's the Koh Andet Eco Resort, and it's one of the places that we're going to be putting up the riders for a 2-night stay. Really, it's just an absolute bit of paradise here. Sat on the river, all the lodges are floating out the front there. You can see on the side here. When you open your bedroom doors in the morning, you can literally get out in the morning and dive straight into the river. The water is warm. There's a bar just behind us here. Lovely little islands on the side of it. You can you've got your canoe outside each side of your lodge, so you can go canoeing in the morning. There's even a little swimming pool area here if you're a little bit concerned about going out into the open river. They've got a little swimming pool area here, but it's still the river you're swimming on. It is absolutely stunning here. We've got a long day. We've got a little bit of tarmac to start off with, then 30k over gravel road at the end of there. Top up the bikes, top up the camel backs, because then we've got the Smuggler's Trail, which is about 30 to 40k of jungle trail, a bit like we had for the Tiger Trail. So it's going to be hard work today.
Drying off the drone that you dropped in the river. It'll be alright. And they're just draining out the water from the bike that you dropped in the river.
in the radiator hose to reposition it.
Yay!
So today the riding is going to be quite different really, because we've had lots of dust and very dry trails, and it's going to be a bit sloppy at times today, but it's good to have that variation. And tonight we're camping out on the top of a cliff.
Karirom National Park is beautiful. It's pine forest at the top, and we're camping right on top of the edge of a cliff, and then down the bottom is thick jungle. It's beautiful.
So another good day ahead of us. The rain last night really improved the trails. It's been fantastic trails today because there's been no dust. There's no wet sand, loads of grip and great sweeping trails.
Perfect. Most fun I've had riding in weeks.
Quite a lot of river crossings in the jungle, and some people came to grief on that one. Our own cameraman dumped into the water like the mermaid that he's becoming.
Why are you walking through water?
Getting your bike across. You keep drowning my drone.
Bloody paternity on that lot.
You're not going to pick up the puppy?
Pick up a puppy. Pick up a puppy. Pick up the puppy.
Okay, so we've stopped in the middle of the jungle for lunch. Not many places to eat around here. And we've got some ham, we've got some salami, some cheese, some cucumber, and all the condiments, and of course some mayonnaise. So a really nice lunch in the middle of nowhere, really. Stayed in Kampot last night. Really nice town, some lovely bars in there, got a French colonial feel to it. And we've got a short run from here down towards the coast, and then we're going to get to Kip, where the market is, and then take a boat across to Rabbit Island, where we're staying tonight. So pretty peachy day, to be honest, but the sun's out. Good feed up last night in the river shack here, and a nice ride today.
feel blessed to have come to a place like this. Really believe it. Just sort of sat on the boat, so I can hear the sea here. I'm on a tropical island. I feel blessed to have been here once and come here twice. It's superb. It's hard to put in words, really, but I'm managing.